guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is January 6th, 2021, and this is the Flight Sim News. So this is the first Flight Sim News of the new year, 2021. It's going to take a little getting used to saying 2021. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue like it did before for 2020, but here we are. There isn't a hell of a lot to report today, but I do have some pretty cool stuff to talk about. So first up is Vkb Sim, and these are the other guys, other than Virpil, that make some pretty cool high-end hardware. As you can see, they've updated their cover photo, and I believe this is their new Vkb Ultimate stick that they're going to be putting out. And my understanding is that this is there's a lot of metal in this stick, and it's supposed to be a step up above of the other sticks that they've put out thus far. And then on the 23rd, they had posted they're having a Vkb Ultimate Flight Control System Lucky Draw. Leave a comment in the video on YouTube and you'll have a chance to win. Not sure if that's still going, but I did want to mention it. I'll throw a link in the video description to the Vkb Sim Facebook page so you can check it out for yourself. Alright, the guys at Heatblur have put out a trailer for the F-14B campaign released Operation Reforger, the Iron Heel.
Out of Krasnodar. 070 for 40 miles, on the deck, hot and fast. Mission 3, he's turning for you. He's climbing fast. Snap north now.
That was freaking epic. It's about a minute long. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual so you can check it out for yourself. And if you do have the F-14B and the last open beta update, you can have the Operation Reforger, the Iron Heel campaign as well. Here's a video I found that shows some of the gameplay of Rising Squall, and it's by Ace Combat Fan. Never heard of this guy before, but he's got a shit ton of subscribers at around 76,000, so he must be doing something right. Basically, it's about a 21-minute video, and it goes in to show you some of the action in the Rising Squall campaign.
Hello Aces, this is Ace Combat Fan, and welcome to this gameplay video of Rising Squall. Rising Squall is an upcoming story-driven sets of missions in a campaign format for DCS. They are pretty much inspired by Ace Combat, and they want to bring the narrative story of Ace Combat and put it into a simulator format like DCS, but in a more, let's say, simplified manner, so it's not as hard to learn how to use a simulator, and you'll see why as we go here in the video. And at the same time, they're having Keiki Kobayashi, the famous Ace Combat composer, also working on the soundtrack for Rising Squall. So that made the perfect combination for a game. I wanted to try it out. The studio developing this game is called Inverted. They got in contact with me and they gave me the demo mission for me to try it out. Just for your information, I've only played DCS for less than 5 hours. I am by no means an expert on DCS or the F-18, which is the plane I'll be flying in this mission. So please understand, I'm not gonna be super perfect, but see what I can do. And I think it's important too, in case many of you who are more into Ace Combat and never played DCS before, you probably have a similar experience like me, because I haven't played much DCS. Anyway, just for a quick story setting.
Isn't it painful to live like this?
Liberty is everything. They would rather die than not live a free life.
Don't overthink. Hiring Reef cost Bishop a big fortune, an amount that can support Reef for quite some time.
They're lucky to be the ones getting paid. There's no shortage of poor people in Star Union. Let's just finish our...
I gotta admit, the music is pretty cool, and I do like the dialogue as you go along. The video is about 21 minutes long in its entirety. I'll leave a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. Here's another video I found, and this goes into detail. It's about 4 minutes long and talks about the first fully functional military aircraft carrier add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Hello everyone out there in YouTube land, my name is Steve, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the functional aircraft carrier that has been released by Hard Deck Simulations for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This add-on allows players to perform takeoff and landings at any of the 5 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers that are included in this add-on. These aircraft carriers are highly detailed and look great both during the day and at night. They also all include working catapults and arrestor cables. I should mention that you can use these carriers with any of the aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I really want to make a big deal about that because, as I said, you can use this with absolutely any aircraft, whether that be stock airplanes or from an add-on that you've downloaded. And you don't have to do any type of configuration at all. The add-on will automatically calculate the force needed to launch or stop any aircraft. Now, as I previously mentioned, you will get access to 5 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers that have been placed as static objects at 5 different locations around the world. These locations include Key West, San Francisco, New York, Gibraltar, and Dubai, with Dubai's location being my personal favorite. Your parking brake, set your throttle to full thrust, and just release the parking brake when you're ready to launch. And just like that, we're off to make peace in the Middle East. $0.92 US. The limitations currently that you'll see in here are very minor, and they're really all tied just to the SDK currently provided by Asobo and Microsoft, which don't allow the developers to include the full functionality that they would otherwise want to. So when it comes to this, the things that you would look out for are really just the carriers. They are static in one location. They can't be dynamically spawned by the user currently, and they also aren't able to move. Again, these are just SDK limitations, and it's high on the list of priorities to be implemented as a feature in the future from this developer.
The video is about 4 minutes long. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. Alright, good friend of the channel, Iain Christie, is at it again. This time out, the Iron Bomber's Guide to the DCS Galaxy, Episode 7, Perfecting Practice Patterns.
Hello YouTube, Sidekick here with another installment of the Iron Bomber's Guide to the Galaxy. Today we're going to talk about a topic which may not sound all that exciting, but which is, I think, maybe the most important thing you can do to improve your accuracy in iron bombing. That is, developing a good range practice routine and applying it over and over and over and over again. Yes, I have come to the conclusion that in DCS there really isn't any shortcut to getting good at iron bombing. There are no magic bullets or bombs for that.
Ain't that the truth? Practice does make perfect, without a doubt.
Easier with practice. The general idea is to gradually increase your bank ankle right up to the roll-in point. If there is one thing you want to be careful of, at least I need to be very careful of, it's the tendency to sag at the end and let your nose drop in that last little part of the pattern before the roll-in.
As usual, this is a fantastic video, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm starting to really enjoy what Iain's been doing here. His tutorials are really excellent. Definitely check these out, man, if you're into DCS. It's definitely worth looking at. I will throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. Alright, next up is Matt Wagner. DCS FA-18C Hornet Ground Moving Target Radar Mode.
Hey everyone, Wags here from Eagle Dynamics, and in the next Hornet update we have a new air-to-ground mode for the Hornet, and that's GMT, which stands for Ground Moving Target. And as the name applies, is used to acquire and track moving ground vehicles. So let's take a look at this. First we'll go to the air-to-ground master mode, of course. And here on the right DDI, we are in map mode right now. Let's press this OSB one time to go to GMT, Ground Moving Target. And we can see we have 4 bricks out there, each of those bricks representing a different moving target. Of course, it's only going to detect moving targets, not static targets. We can see our range scale right now. We're at 20 miles. We can go to 40 miles, all the way down to 5 miles, 10 miles, and then back to 20. We also have an azimuth setting. And as you might imagine, the more narrow the azimuth setting, the faster the updates.
This video is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can check it out for yourself. Alright guys, lastly, it's IL-2 Stormovic news again. So it looks like the guys over at 1C Game Studios have extended their IL-2 sale. So the winter sale has been extended. It ends on January 11th, 2020. That is through the web store only. The Steam sale is going to expire on the 5th. Actually, that means it has expired because this news is for the 6th. So the Steam sale is done, but the winter sale has been extended to the 11th through their web store. And all kinds of awesome stuff is on sale. And again, I highly recommend anything that 1C Game Studios puts out at the moment. A couple people were like, oh yeah, you know, like, because I mentioned Flying Circus Volume 1 was my, like, game of the year for flight sims. And some people were like, well, everybody thinks that except for those who, like, you know, paid for Rise of Flight or something. My understanding is they wanted to bring this, the planes from Rise of Flight over into the Great Battles series. And you know what, man? Maybe they didn't do anything more with Rise of Flight, but by bringing those planes into the Great Battle series, that's win-win for everybody, guys. And now there's going to be a Volume 2 that's going to be coming out. And you can get Flying Circus for $27 now, Volume 1. That's a steal. And just the ability of feeling like you're in an open cockpit plane, be it VR or in track IR, is pretty freaking amazing. They've really captured that look and feel. And it's fantastic stuff, man. I mean, Rise of Flight was like freaking, that's well over a decade old, if I remember correctly. That's been around a long time, you know. This is called progress, guys. And, you know, at first when Flying Circus Volume 1 came out, yes, the complaint was there was no content. That was my complaint, too. However, through one of the many updates that they continue to make to the Great Battles series, which now the Flying Circus falls under, they've added a variety of campaigns, and now there isn't the issue of the lack of content. Can't complain, to be honest. I really can't. So again, the winter sale has been extended for 1C Game Studios, and that's excellent news for anybody who wants to jump in and have some fun in some World War I or World War II action. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. And that about covers it for the Flight Sim news, for the first Flight Sim news of 2021. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys.